The massive Imperial scout ship hung silently in the darkness of space, its sensors focused on the blue-green planet below. On the bridge, Imperial Commander Rex stood with his hands clasped behind his back, his golden uniform reflecting the soft light of nearby screens. His red eyes narrowed as he studied the data streaming in about the third planet of this unremarkable solar system. "Impossible," he muttered, checking the readings again. "Run the scan one more time." His crew worked quickly, their six-fingered hands moving across the control panels. The results came back the same. "Sir," his science officer spoke up, "the readings are correct. The species on this planet has advanced from primitive combustion engines to fusion power in just over a century." Rex walked closer to the main viewport, studying Earth with growing concern. The planet's orbit was cluttered with satellites and space stations. Small ships moved between Earth and its nearby moon, where dome cities gleamed in the darkness. "No species develops this quickly," Rex said. "Not naturally." He turned to face his crew. "What do we know about them?" The intelligence officer stepped forward, holding a datapad. "They call themselves humans. They survived 3 world wars, multiple pandemics, and several climate disasters. Instead of dying out, they grew stronger each time." She paused, scrolling through more information. "They've already established colonies on their moon and the red planet in their system." Rex felt a chill run down his spine. The Empire had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years by identifying and controlling potential threats before they could grow too powerful. These humans might be the biggest threat they'd encountered yet. "Send a priority message to the High Council," Rex ordered. "Mark it urgent." 3 days later, Rex stood before the High Council itself. The massive chamber on the Imperial capital world was filled with the most powerful beings in the galaxy. 12 ancient counselors sat in elevated chairs, looking down at him with their glowing eyes. "Commander Rex," the head counselor spoke, his voice echoing in the chamber. "Your report about this Earth is disturbing." Rex nodded. "The humans are advancing faster than any species we've ever encountered. They've mastered atomic power, begun exploring space, and are on the verge of discovering faster than light travel." "Could they be receiving help from outside?" another counselor asked. "No, High One," Rex replied. "We've monitored all traffic in that sector for centuries. They developed everything on their own." The council chamber filled with worried whispers. A species that could advance so quickly on its own was unheard of. The Empire had grown comfortable with its power, knowing that most new species took thousands of years to reach a level where they might pose any threat. "Show us their military capabilities," the head counselor commanded. Rex activated a hologram in the center of the chamber. Images of Earth's weapons and defenses appeared. "They are still primitive compared to us, but their rate of advancement is alarming. They've already developed energy shields, though crude ones. Their weapons show surprising innovation." "Innovation?" A counselor leaned forward, interested. "Yes, they don't just copy and improve existing designs like most species. They create entirely new approaches to problems. Their military strategy is unpredictable." The head counselor stood, his robes flowing around him. "We cannot allow them to grow stronger. The Empire has maintained peace in this galaxy by preventing any single species from challenging our power." "What are your orders?" Rex asked, though he already knew the answer. "We will send the Third Fleet to Earth. A show of force should convince them to accept Imperial rule peacefully." The head counselor's expression darkened. "If they resist, they will learn why no one challenges the Empire." As Rex left the council chamber, he couldn't shake off his feeling of unease. Something about these humans felt different. The Empire had conquered thousands of worlds, but none had advanced like Earth. None had shown such resilience, such drive to push forward against all odds. The commander paused at a viewport, looking out at the endless stars. Somewhere out there, humanity was about to face its greatest challenge. But for the first time in his long career, Rex wondered if perhaps it was the Empire that should be worried. "May the gods help us all," he whispered, if we're underestimating them. Commander John Walker stood at the window of Earth Defense Station 1, watching the stars. Behind him, the command center buzzed with activity as officers tracked the approaching alien fleet. The massive holographic display showed hundreds of unknown ships moving toward Earth. "Status report," Walker called out, his voice steady despite the tension. "Sir, the alien fleet will reach our outer defense line in 6 hours," Lieutenant Tom answered from his station. "We count over 300 vessels, all bigger than anything we've ever built." Walker nodded, his gray eyes fixed on the holographic ships. Humanity had always known they weren't alone in the universe, but they had hoped first contact would be peaceful. Now, Earth faced its greatest challenge. "What's the status of our defense fleet?" he asked. "All ships are in position, sir. The Mars and Moon bases are on full alert. Civilian shelters are ready." The past week had been chaos. When Earth's deep space sensors first detected the alien fleet, panic had spread quickly. But humans had prepared for this moment for generations. Every nation had put aside their differences, united under the Earth Defense Command. A new alert sounded through the station. "Sir, we're receiving a transmission from the alien fleet." Walker straightened his uniform, put it on the main screen. The screen flickered to life, showing a tall, red-eyed being in a golden uniform. The alien's skin had a slight purple tint, and its face was angular and stern. "People of Earth," the alien spoke in perfect English, making everyone in the command center jump. "I am Fleet Admiral Grom of the Imperial Galactic Fleet. We have been watching your world for some time." Walker stepped forward. "This is Commander Walker of Earth Defense Command. We welcome peaceful contact with your civilization." The alien's expression didn't change. "We are not here for peaceful contact, Commander. We are here to inform you that your world now belongs to the Empire. Submit to Imperial rule, and your people will be treated fairly. Resist, and we will take your world by force." The command center fell silent. Walker's hands tightened into fists, but his voice remained calm. "Admiral, Earth is a free world. We have no wish for conflict, but we will not surrender our independence." "You don't understand, Commander. This is not a negotiation. The Empire has ruled this galaxy for 10,000 years. Your species has only just learned to leave your planet. You cannot hope to resist us." Walker smiled slightly. "With respect, Admiral, humanity has spent its entire history doing things people said we couldn't do." The alien's red eyes narrowed. "You have 1 hour to reconsider. After that, we will begin our attack. Remember, Commander, no one has ever successfully resisted the Empire." The transmission ended, leaving the command center in silence. "Well," Walker said, turning to his crew, "they certainly know how to make a first impression." A few nervous laughs broke the tension. "Sir," Tom spoke up, "what are our chances, really? Their technology must be centuries ahead of ours." Walker looked around the room at his crew. Young faces looked back at him, scared but determined. "Lieutenant, do you know why humans have survived everything our world has thrown at us? It's because we never calculate our chances. We just decide to win, and then we figure out how." He walked to the center of the room. "Send word to all ships and bases. We go with Defense Plan Alpha, and send the Empire our response." "What should I tell them?" "Sir." Walker smiled again, but this time there was steel in it. "Tell them that humanity chooses to stand. Tell them that we will not bow, we will not run, and we will not surrender. And tell them one more thing." "Sir." "Tell them they're about to learn why humans are the only species in the known galaxy to have a word for impossible, and another word for doing it anyway." As the message was sent, Walker watched his crew prepare for battle. The Empire thought they were facing a primitive species that would quickly submit to their power. They were about to learn that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their weapons. It was their absolute refusal to accept defeat. Admiral Grom watched the primitive human ships with contempt. Their fleet looked tiny compared to his Imperial warships. small dark vessels arranged in a defensive pattern around their planet. Their moon base and Mars colony had similar defensive formations. It would be over quickly. "Begin the attack," he ordered. Standard subjugation pattern. His mighty fleet moved forward, energy weapons charging. The first shots lit up space like new stars being born. To his surprise, the human ships didn't explode. Instead, they disappeared. "What?" Grom stood up from his command chair. "Where are they?" "Sir," his sensor officer shouted. "They're behind us." The human fleet had somehow jumped behind the Imperial formation. Before Grom could react, the Earth ships opened fire. Their weapons weren't the standard energy beams the Empire expected. Instead, they fired strange projectiles that passed right through Imperial shields. Impossible. Grom watched as 3 of his ships exploded. How are they bypassing our shields? On the Earth Defense Command Station, Walker allowed himself a small smile. Phase-shifted kinetic rounds, he explained to his crew. They expected energy weapons, so they prepared energy shields. But matter passing through matter. They never saw that coming. The Imperial fleet scrambled to reposition, but the human ships were faster, more agile. They darted between the larger Imperial vessels, firing their unconventional weapons. Each shot found its mark. "Sir," Tom reported, "Imperial ships are switching to physical armor. Our phase shift rounds won't work anymore." Walker nodded. "Just as we expected. Switch to Plan Beta. Signal the moon base." From the lunar surface, hidden doors opened in the crater fields. Hundreds of small, unmanned drones launched into space. They looked like debris, barely showing up on sensors. Admiral Grom was busy reorganizing his fleet when the alert started. "What are these small objects?" "Some kind of primitive drones, sir," his officer reported. "No significant weapons detected. Ignore them. Focus on the main fleet." That was exactly what Walker had counted on. The drones attached themselves to Imperial ships, and then their real purpose became clear. Each one carried a small quantum field generator. "Now," Walker ordered. The drones activated simultaneously. Small quantum fields appeared inside the Imperial ship's armored hulls. Metal twisted and warped as space itself, bent in tiny controlled amounts. Grom watched in horror as his ships began breaking apart from the inside. "How? This is impossible. They're centuries behind us." "Sir," his second-in-command reported, "we've lost 40% of the fleet. We can't maintain formation." In the chaos, the human fleet struck again. This time, they launched what looked like old-fashioned missiles. The Imperial ships shot them down easily, but that released clouds of specially engineered nanobots into space. The microscopic machines ate through hull metal like acid through paper. "Full retreat," Grom finally ordered. "Get us out of this system." The mighty Imperial fleet, which had never known defeat in 300 years, turned and fled. They left behind dozens of destroyed ships and a reputation in ruins. On Earth Defense Station 1, the crew cheered, but Walker kept his eyes on the tactical display. Damage report. "We lost 28 ships, sir. Moon base reports minor damage. Mars colony is intact." Walker nodded slowly. "They'll be back. And next time, they'll be ready for our tricks." "Sir," Tom asked, "how did you know our old tech weapons would work?" "Because, Lieutenant, the Empire has been undefeated for centuries. They've grown comfortable. They stopped innovating, stopped thinking differently." Walker turned to face his crew. "But humanity, we never stop thinking of new ways to solve problems. We never stop asking, what if?" As the crew celebrated their victory, Walker sent a message to Earth's leaders. The battle was won, but the war was just beginning. The Empire would return with new weapons and strategies, but humanity would be ready. Because while the Empire had spent centuries perfecting their existing technology, humans had spent their history learning to think the impossible. And now, the galaxy would learn why that made all the difference. The Imperial High Council chamber had never been so quiet. Fleet Admiral Grom stood before them, his golden uniform scarred and burned, explaining humanity's impossible victory. "They used weapons we've never seen before," he said, his voice hoarse. "They turned our own technology against us. They fought like nothing we've ever faced." The head counselor's eyes glowed with rage. "You lost 30% of the Third Fleet to primitives. This is unacceptable." In the shadows of the chamber, Commander Rex listened carefully. He had warned them about underestimating the humans. Now, his worst fears were coming true. "Mobilize the main battle fleet," the head counselor ordered. "All of it. We will crush these humans completely." Meanwhile, on Mars Colony, Commander Walker inspected the new defense installations. The red planet's surface was now dotted with hidden bunkers and weapon platforms. Earth's moon looked similar, transformed into a fortress in just 2 weeks. "Sir," Tom called through the radio, "you need to see this." In the command center, Walker looked at the long-range sensor data. His face grew grim. "How many ships?" "Over 3,000, sir. The Empire is sending everything they have." Walker had expected this. The Empire couldn't allow news of their defeat to spread. Other conquered species might get ideas about rebellion. Humanity had to be crushed, completely and quickly. "Send word to Earth," Walker ordered. "Tell them to activate Project Phoenix." Deep beneath Earth's oceans, massive factories had been building something in secret. Ever since first detecting alien signals years ago, humanity had prepared for this moment. Now, those preparations would be tested. The Empire struck hard and fast. Their ships appeared near Jupiter, using its gravity to accelerate toward Earth. But humanity had learned from the first battle. The gas giant's many moons now held automated defense platforms. As the Imperial ships passed, the platforms fired special weapons that disrupted their faster-than-light drives. "They trapped us in normal space," an Imperial captain shouted. "How did they develop this technology so quickly?" The answer was simple. Humans had always been good at breaking things. Understanding alien technology wasn't as important as figuring out how to disable it. The battle spread across the solar system. Imperial ships found their sophisticated targeting systems confused by simple radio interference. Their advanced shields struggled against weapons that used the basic laws of physics in new ways. Commander Rex watched from his ship as another Imperial squadron fell into a human trap. "They're not just fighting us," he realized. "They're learning from every battle, adapting, getting stronger." The Empire had superior technology, but humans had something more valuable: creativity. Each defeat taught them new lessons. Each victory gave them new tools. They scavenged destroyed Imperial ships, reverse-engineered what they could, and improved their own technology at an alarming rate. On Earth, Walker received reports from across the solar system. The Empire was pushing hard, but humanity's defenses were holding. More importantly, Project Phoenix was ready. "Begin the launch," he ordered. Hidden doors opened in the Pacific Ocean. Giant platforms rose from the depths, carrying thousands of small, sleek ships. They looked primitive compared to Imperial vessels, but they carried humanity's latest innovations. "All Phoenix ships, launch," Walker commanded. The new human fleet rose into space, their hulls gleaming in the sunlight. Each ship carried a mix of stolen Imperial technology and human ingenuity. They were smaller than Imperial ships, but faster and more adaptable. In his command ship, Rex watched the launches with growing concern. The humans weren't fighting like a species facing extinction. They fought like they expected to win. "Send word to the High Council," he told his communications officer. "Tell them." He paused, choosing his words carefully. "Tell them we may have made a terrible mistake in attacking Earth." The message never reached the Council. The Empire's communication networks were already being disrupted by human cyber attacks. As Rex watched his fleet's systems fail one by one, he understood what the humans had known all along. In war, the most dangerous weapon isn't technology. It's the ability to think differently than your enemy expects. The real battle for Earth's solar system was about to begin. The skies above Earth turned bright as thousands of Imperial warships dropped out of faster-than-light travel. This was the Empire's biggest attack yet. Their massive ships formed a wall around Earth, blocking out the stars. All ships in position, the new Imperial Commander Gold announced. Begin the final attack. But Commander Walker had been waiting for this moment. In the Earth Defense Command Center, he gave the order they had prepared for months. Activate the quantum shield, he commanded. Hundreds of satellites around Earth lit up at once. A strange, shimmering field appeared around the planet. It wasn't like normal shields. This one bent space itself. Impossible. Commander Gold watched as his first wave of attacks simply vanished into the shield. What is this technology? On his ship, Commander Rex understood. The humans hadn't just been defending. They had been buying time to build something completely new. The quantum shield wasn't just protection. It was a weapon. As Imperial ships fired at Earth, the shield absorbed their energy and sent it back, stronger than before. Several Imperial ships exploded as their own attacks hit them. Launch the Phoenix fleet, Walker ordered. All ships, execute Plan Omega. The human fleet emerged from hiding spots across the solar system. They had learned from every battle, copied the best of Imperial technology, and added their own ideas. Each ship now carried weapons that the Empire had never seen before. "Sir," Tom called out, "Imperial ships are changing formation." Walker nodded. They had expected this. The Empire's ships formed a giant circle around Earth, preparing their strongest weapon, the planet killer beam. It could destroy entire worlds with one shot. "They're going to try to break through the quantum shield," Walker said calmly, "just like we wanted them to." As the Empire charged their ultimate weapon, something strange happened. Their ships began losing power. Hidden inside the quantum shield were millions of tiny robots, each one designed to drain energy from Imperial technology. "Our power levels are dropping," Gold shouted. "How are they doing this?" The answer came from an unexpected source. Commander Rex's voice broadcast across all channels. "Because they understand something we forgot," he said. "Technology isn't just about having the most powerful weapons. It's about using what you have in ways no one expects." Rex had secretly turned against the Empire. He had seen how humans fought, how they never gave up. He knew the Empire was wrong to try to crush them. The Imperial fleet's formation broke apart as ships lost power. The Phoenix fleet struck from all directions, using weapons based on simple physics that Imperial shields couldn't stop. "Sir," Tom reported with amazement, "Imperial ships are retreating." But Walker knew it wasn't over. The Empire had one last trick. Commander Gold ordered his remaining ships to self-destruct, hoping to destroy Earth with a massive explosion. "Quantum shield at maximum power," Walker ordered. As the Imperial ships exploded, the shield absorbed the energy. But instead of reflecting it back, the shield channeled it into Earth's power systems. "They just gave us enough power to run our cities for a year," Walker said with a small smile. The battle was over. The Empire's greatest fleet had been defeated, not by superior technology, but by human creativity and determination. In the aftermath, Commander Rex's ship approached Earth. He had chosen to help humanity because he saw what the Empire couldn't. That progress wasn't about having the most advanced technology, but about having the courage to try new ideas. "The Empire will be back," Rex warned as his ship was escorted to Earth. "But next time, they'll be afraid. And fear makes enemies make mistakes." Walker looked at the battle reports. Humanity had lost ships and brave people, but they had gained something more valuable. They had proved that Earth wouldn't bow to anyone. "Let them come back," Walker said. "We'll be ready. And next time, we'll take the fight to them." The stars shone bright above Earth once again, but now they didn't look like distant lights. They looked like humanity's future. News of Earth's victory spread across the galaxy like wildfire. On thousands of conquered worlds, alien species watched recordings of the battle in secret. They saw how humans had defeated the Empire's greatest fleet, and for the first time in centuries, they began to hope. Commander Rex stood before Earth's United Defense Council, his purple skin standing out among the human leaders. The Empire is wounded, but that makes them more dangerous. They're planning something terrible. Walker sat at the council table, studying the former Imperial officer. What kind of plan? They're gathering their remaining fleets for one final attack. But this time, they're bringing a weapon that can destroy entire star systems. The room fell silent. Earth had won battles, but could they survive something that powerful? Then something unexpected happened. Messages began arriving from across the galaxy. Other species wanted to fight. Earth's victory had shown them that the Empire wasn't invincible. The Centauri want to join us, Tom reported excitedly. They've overthrown their Imperial governors. The wolf-like Luparians, too. And the crystal beings of Silica Prime. Walker smiled. The Empire's worst nightmare was coming true. Their conquered worlds were rising up, choosing to stand with humanity. Form the Free Systems Alliance, the Council decided. Every species that wants freedom can join. We'll share our technology, our tactics, our determination. The Empire's response was swift and brutal. They attacked their own worlds, trying to crush the rebellions. But the rebels had learned from humans. They used simple weapons in clever ways. They turned the Empire's technology against itself. Most importantly, they never gave up. Rex worked with Walker to coordinate the rebellion. His knowledge of Imperial tactics proved invaluable. The Empire has ruled so long, they've forgotten how to handle surprise, he explained. They expect everyone to fight the same way they do. The alliance grew stronger each day. Humans taught other species their ways of thinking, of solving problems differently. In return, these species shared their own knowledge and technology. Imperial ships approaching Earth. The warning came 3 months later. It's their super weapon. The massive Imperial ship emerged from light speed. It was bigger than anything ever built, designed for one purpose, to destroy entire solar systems. But Walker had prepared for this. The Alliance fleet gathered near Jupiter, ships of every size and design. Each one carried a piece of humanity's latest invention. They expect us to defend Earth, Walker told the Alliance commanders, so we'll attack instead. The Imperial superweapon charged up, its energy readings off the scale. But before it could fire, the Alliance fleet struck. Each ship launched what looked like simple probes toward the weapon. The Imperial commander laughed. These primitive devices can't harm us. He was wrong. The probes weren't weapons. They were gates. Thousands of tiny wormholes opened inside the superweapon, connecting its power core to empty space. All its energy drained away into nothing. Impossible. The Imperial commander watched his mighty weapon die. How? The answer came from 100 Alliance ships at once, because we learned from humanity that nothing is impossible. The Empire's last great weapon failed. Their remaining fleets faced rebellion everywhere. Centuries of rule were ending because they had made one simple mistake. They had threatened a species that didn't know how to give up. Rex watched from the command center as Imperial ships began surrendering. I never thought I'd see this day, he said quietly. The Empire falling not to superior force, but to superior imagination. Walker nodded. That's why we had to win. Not because we're stronger or more advanced, but because we remember something the Empire forgot. There's always another way to solve a problem. Across the galaxy, celebration began on every free world. The empire that had ruled for 10,000 years was crumbling. In its place, something new was growing. An alliance built not on power, but on respect and cooperation. But Walker knew tomorrow would bring new challenges. Humanity's journey to the stars had only just begun. 1 year after the Empire's super weapon failed, the galaxy was a very different place. The massive Imperial palace on the capital world no longer flew the golden banner of the Empire. Instead, it served as the meeting place for the new Galactic Council, where every free world had a voice. Walker walked through its grand halls, now filled with representatives from hundreds of species. Some flew, others crawled, some were made of crystal or energy. All of them had fought for their freedom, inspired by humanity's example. Still hard to believe, isn't it? Rex walked beside him, wearing the simple blue uniform of the Alliance rather than his old Imperial gold. A year ago, this place was forbidden to all but the Imperial elite. Walker nodded, and now it belongs to everyone. They entered the main council chamber where the Alliance leaders had gathered. The head counselor's ancient throne had been replaced by a simple round table. Everyone sat as equals. The last Imperial stronghold has fallen, a Luparian commander reported, her wolf-like features proud. The outer colonies are free. A crystal being from Silica Prime glowed brightly. Their fleet commanders had two choices: surrender or retreat into deep space. Most surrendered. Walker listened to the reports with mixed feelings. Victory was complete, but the cost had been high. Millions had died fighting for freedom. Entire worlds had been scared by battle. And what of the Imperial leadership? A voice asked. The room turned to look at the Empire's former head counselor, now standing trial for his crimes. "You were right to fear humans," the old leader said bitterly. "They didn't just defeat us. They changed everything we built over 10,000 years. "No," Walker corrected him. "We just showed everyone that change was possible. They chose to be free on their own." The next few hours were spent planning the galaxy's future. The Alliance would not become another empire. Each world would govern itself, joining together only for mutual defense and trade. Humanity's greatest gift wasn't their technology or tactics, Rex told the Council. It was their way of thinking. They taught us that the impossible is just something that hasn't been done yet. As if to prove his point, a young human scientist presented their latest project, a new form of faster-than-light travel based on the quantum shield technology. It would make travel between worlds easier than ever before. The Empire kept worlds isolated, afraid of each other, she explained. This will bring us all together. Later, Walker stood at a window overlooking the capital city. Ships of all shapes and sizes flew between beautiful towers that reached into the clouds. Species that once feared each other now worked and lived together. "Thinking about home?" Rex asked, joining him. "Earth seems so far away," Walker admitted. "When the Empire first appeared in our skies, we thought we were alone against the galaxy. Now look at us, part of something bigger than we ever imagined." A group of children played in a garden below. Human kids running alongside young aliens from a dozen worlds. They didn't see their differences. They just saw friends. The Empire warned everyone to run from humans. Rex said with a smile. They never understood that humans don't want to conquer. They want to explore, to learn, to grow. And they want to help others do the same. Walker's communicator beeped. A new signal had been detected from deep space, beyond the galaxy's edge. Something unknown was out there. "Ready to explore?" Walker asked. Rex laughed. "You humans never rest, do you? Always looking for the next challenge." "That's why the Empire failed to stop us," Walker replied. "They thought they could break our spirit. Instead, they gave us a reason to show what humanity does best: face the impossible and find a way forward." As the sun set on the capital world, ships from 100 species prepared for their first joint expedition into the unknown. The Empire had warned everyone to run from humans. Instead, the galaxy had learned to run with them, toward a future filled with endless possibilities. The adventure was just beginning.